Hello, YouTube. It's me, John Avenger, once again, and this is a review, not a podcast. I won't be doing a podcast for a couple of days, but I want to leave you guys with something for the next 3 days. And I'm reviewing the TV show that came out in January. I just finished it like right now. The 8-episode miniseries of Wonderman that Marvel did this. It was supposed to come out last year, but they pushed it to this year, and it's a good show. It's not a great show. I'm not going to recommend it to everybody because some people are overly sensitive about everything about race. But the show is well done. Yahya Abdul-Mateen as the second as Wonder Man. As Simon Williams, he works. Ben Kingsley works in the show. He's a Brit in the show that actually matters in the show because him and Yahya Abdul-Mateen have good chemistry. Also, the show has an interesting premise where it's an actor trying to get a role instead of just him already having the powers and doing his thing like Moon Knight and all these other characters that I had to sit through. I'm glad that the show was made because it's got a cinematic feel to it. They have references to the other MCU things like Iron Man 3 and I think Shang-Chi as well, because Trevor Slattery was in that. That's the last time we saw him, was in Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Seven Rings. And it's not a typical Marvel show. It doesn't have the witty, it doesn't have the post-credit scenes. It's not setting up 15 other characters. It doesn't have the stingers in it. It doesn't have annoying side characters that you don't need. There's not a lot of women in the show, but there's a couple of black girls that are in like a few episodes and they're not in it very much, but it's well made. If you want to see a Marvel show where there's a lot of talking, there's occasional action scenes, but there needed to be a little bit more, but it's not like an action show. This is less The Boys and less Gen 5 and less Invincible. It's more WandaVision, but without a lot of the sitcom humor, because there's not a lot of that. They mostly take this seriously. There was 1 or 2 episodes I wasn't crazy about. One of them, Simon's barely in it. It's about a guy named the Doorman, and that's a completely different story. But there's some cameos in the show that were really good. You have Josh Gad was there. You had Joe Pantoliano in like 2 episodes. He's good. He's always good. And, you had a lot of familiar faces in the show. It's a very pro-black show. So if you're not into that, then don't see it. Because I don't want to hear, oh, they race swapped the character, so it ruined the character. I'm like, no, they acknowledge the original character that was Wonder Man in the comics. They have a character in the beginning of the show that dresses like the original one. So it's fine. They did a nod to it. It's an interesting premise, guys. Not everything needs to be action, bam, bam, thank you, ma'am, entertainment. Sometimes you have to tell a story with a slower pace, shorter running time. It's only 30 minutes. It's not 45 minutes. It's not an hour and a half like a Stranger Things episode. It's quick and to the freaking point, and that's all I can ask for, because some of the Marvel shows went on for like 45 minutes or an hour, and like, this did not need to be this long. This is better than Ironheart. I can easily say that. It's better than Agatha All Along. It's better than Secret Invasion. It's better than Moon Knight. It's better than She-Hulk, because it's not fucking stupid. And also, it's straightforward. There's not setting up 18 other characters in the show. And Wonder Man will not be in Doomsday, which is fine. I don't need him there. We have enough characters in that as it is, and I'm not even looking forward to that. Also, the Russian guy or Croatian actor that was in Superman is in the show. He's in a couple of episodes. He's the director of the Wonder Man reboot, and he works. There's a scene I didn't expect in one of the episodes that kind of caught me off guard, but I still think that it's well done. It's not woke, it's not racist, it's not the most memorable show of all time, but compared to some of the Marvel shows we got in the past, this is definitely a step in the right direction because it's different. It is something different. I didn't want another yuck, 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 blast, 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 jokey Marvel thing. I wanted something different. That's what X-Men 97 was. Faithful to the comics, but also different. It had dramatic moments, not just jokes every 2 seconds. They didn't Taika Waititi this. They definitely did not do that. And I'm glad, because I wanted to know who this character is, and I want to know more about him now that I've seen the 8 episodes of the show, because I didn't know or care about Wonder Man until I saw the show. It's the same thing with Thor. I barely knew who he was until I saw his movie, and I was like, oh yeah, now I like this character a lot. And Marvel was desperate with their movies. I mean, last year they had 3 movies and they all flopped. This did well on streaming on Disney Plus because it cares about story more than just the spectacle of everything. Because sometimes I want spectacle, sometimes I want a story that's easily told, that's not too confusing and doesn't have a ton of flashbacks. There's a few flashbacks here and there, but it's not like a DC show where every 5 minutes is a flashback. No, you don't need that. That just stalls for time. But this show didn't do that. I was glad I got to see it in the winter because it was a very long winter. It's almost done in a few weeks. I'm very happy. The snow's melting here in New York. And Wonder Man was a great way to get through these days because it was not easy, let me tell you. But anyway, that's my review of Wonder Man, the Disney Plus a miniseries. It's good. It's not great. Don't expect a lot of action. Don't expect spectacle and, superhero powers every single episode, but expect something different. And different sometimes is bad, but sometimes it's good. In this case, it's good because it's not the typical Marvel show. Just like Penguin was not a typical DC show. It was a HBO Max show that was darker and more adult. This is more adult. It's not for kids. So don't let your kids watch this. It's not super violent or anything, but they use coarse language and it's not for kids. Just remember that. But that's my review of Wonder Man, guys. See you in my next video in a couple of days. Yeah, see Wonder Man. I recommend it. Later.